Welcome to Digital Classes. This video is for class 7, chapter number 2, Fiber to Fabric. This is the second part of the video. In this video, I am going to explain about silk. This is the second part. In first part, I explained about how to get wool by the different process. In this video, I am going to discuss about silk. Now first I tell you about little history of the silk or a sericulture in India. See, China is the origin of sericulture. Chinese lady named Shi Ling Shich invented mystery of silkworm cocoon accidentally. It is said that silk is discovered before 3000 BC. Art of silk production was a secret up to 200 BC from about 2800 years ago. Trading of silk was through the Silk Route at that time. By another 300 AD, sericulture had spread in India from Korea. In 1857, world sericulture industry suffered from pebrine disease. I discuss about pebrine disease in this video also. It is a bacterial disease which is harmful for the silkworm, and in this silkworm may die due to of these disease. This almost destroyed European sericulture industry. Louis Pasteur discovered MME technique to control that disease to prevent it from bacterial infection. Silk is another animal fiber. It is soft, light in weight, and strong. Silk fiber is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth or silkworm. The rearing of silk moth is called sericulture. The technique of silk making came to India about 1700 years ago. Silk was exported along the Silk Road, China and the European Empire. Between the China and the European Empire, this trade brought China great wealth, but the Chinese did not give away the secret on how silk was produced. In India, sites that were important for trade on the ancient Silk Road, there are 12 such places in India. These are Bihar, Jammu and Kashmir, Maharashtra, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Pondicherry, etc. See, these are silkworm on the mulberry leaf. Silk is a natural protein fiber, some form of which can be woven into fiber or textile. The protein fiber of the silk is composed mainly of fibro in and is produced by certain insects larvae to form cocoon. See, these are the silk moth, male and female, which are useful for mating to produce silk. Silk is obtained from silkworms. The rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture. I repeat, what is sericulture? The rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture. Now the life history of silkworm. There are 4 stages in the life cycle of the silk moth: egg, caterpillar means larva, pupa, and adult. The female silk moth lay hundred of eggs on mulberry leaves. The larvae that hatch out in 3 to 5 days are called caterpillar. Caterpillar feed on mulberry leaves and grow in size. When the caterpillar is ready, means in 5 to 6 weeks to enter the pupal stage, it stops feeding and its salivary gland starts secreting a sticky fluid, a protein called fibroin. These fluid harden or exposure to air and form a long thread of silk. This thread get wrapped around its body to form a ball-like structure called cocoon. At this stage, the caterpillar become a pupa. The silk moth continue to develop inside the cocoon. At the end of pupal stage, the silk moth cuts open the cocoon and young moth flies out. You see, this is the mulberry tree and the fruits and kind of leaves. Now I explain little more about life cycle. The caterpillar then change from larva to pupa, and in this condition it sleeps for about 18 to 20 days. Then if left undisturbed, it transformed into moth. If the larva is not killed, it will transformed into moth and become fully awake and the strives to emerge from cocoon. It will push itself against the wall of the cocoon by breaking some of the obstructing fibers. The continuous silk filament is thus broken up into the hundred of short pieces. Within the few days of making its cocoon, the silk producer kills the pupa in the cocoon. If the farmers or a producer cannot kill the pupa, then pupa break the fiber. So when the cocoon is mature, the farmer can kill the pupa inside the cocoon by lowering the temperature or increasing the temperature. You know, the cocoon is formed of a single continuous thread of about 1.5 kilometer. If the pupa come out from the cocoon, it shortened the length of the fiber. That's why pupa is killed inside the cocoon to get a long thread. See, these are the usual method of killing. Immersing the cocoon in the steam for few minutes, by baking cocoon in hot oven, by placing the cocoon in the boiling water, or by freezing the cocoon to death. If the producer is not do like this, the the producer may not get long thread. When the pupa come out from the cocoon, it break the silk thread. The process involving to get silk are reeling, throwing, deguming. Now reeling of silk. The process of unwinding the filament from the cocoon is called reeling. I repeat, the process of unwinding the filament from the cocoon is called reeling. This process is carried out in a building called filature or reeling plant. The cocoon are soaked in boiling water to soften the sericin gum that is holding the filament in place. Now, little more information about silk. The cocoon are taken out and loosened fluffy silk on outside is cleaned off, which is then used in production of spun silk yarn. The cocoon are again placed in the hot water basin and the labor used a brush or broom to push cocoon out and down in the water until some loosened end of the filament become attached to broom. The filament is drawn out gently. The cocoon stumbles around in water and gradually unreeled itself. A single filament of silk is very fine. This is between 12 to 30 micrometer. You see how fine is the silk fiber. Silk fiber are then spun to get silk thread. Silk threads are further use for making silk cloth. I think you may know about the silk cloth, which is all maybe used in your home also by your mother, sister. Silk cloth is a high value dress material because of its shine and texture. Now, throwing it is a process in which two or more multi-filament threads are combined and twisted together for heavier thread. Now, the next process is degumming, the process of removing the sericine from the raw silk or throwing silk is called degumming. The natural sericine gum is normally left on the silk during reeling, throwing, and weaving. It acts as a size which protects the filaments and fibers from the mechanical injury. The gum is removed from finished yarn by boiling with soap and water. Now, these are the properties of silk. First, elastic property. Silk is considered to be the more plastic than elastic because it's a crystalline polymer. It does not allow polymer movement, which could only occur in the amorphous region. Its handle is regarded as soft because of the smooth, even, and regular surface of silk filament. Now, the effect of moisture, it absorbs moisture, its moisture regain is 11%. Degumming silk will swell as it takes up moisture. Now, effect of heat, silk will withstand higher temperature of 140 degrees Celsius and decompose at 165 degrees Celsius. Effect of ages. Silk may suffer a gradual loss strength if stored not carefully. Effect of sunlight. Silk starts decomposing by exposure to strong radiation of sunlight. Effect of acid. Dilute acid should be used. Effect of alkalis. Light alkalis like ammonium cause little damage. Effect of insect. It can be readily attacked by clothes moth or carpet beetle. Effect of microorganisms. Silk is resistant to mildew and bacteria unless it is left for some period of time under extreme condition. Silkworm disease. The silkworm is subject to number of severe disease, the most common of which is berberine. Black spots appear on the body of silkworm. The infected silkworm killed off by the disease before they spun. In the beginning of this video, I told that Louis Pasteur discovered MME technique to control that disease. Now I am going to discuss the story from cocoon to silk in few steps. First, the production of silk from silk moth involves the following steps. These steps are also mentioned in your book. Step 1. Eggs of silk moth are stored carefully on strips of cloth or paper and sold it to the silk moth farmer. Now the step 2. The eggs are kept by the farmers under hygienic condition and under controlled temperature and the humidity until the caterpillar come out of the shell. Step 3. The silk moth caterpillars are kept in the bamboo tray and feed on freshly chopped mulberry leaves. Step 4. When the caterpillars stop eating, these are shifted to bamboo chambers provided with small rack, twigs. Here the caterpillars spin cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the pupa continue growing. Now the step number 5. At the end of the pupal stage, the moth cut the cocoon and fly out. Step 5 is a natural process, but in sericulture, it's different. Now, the step 6. The cocoon are then stored out according to their color, size, shape, and texture. Step 7. The stored cocoon are collected and immersed in boiling water to kill the insect inside them. Now, the step 8. The cocoon are given a series of hot and cold immersion. This makes the silk gum soft. Step 9. The silk filaments are separated from the cocoon. This process is called reeling of silk. The resulting fiber is known as raw silk. It can be dyed into various color. Now the step number 10. Silk fiber are then spun to get silk threads. Silk thread are woven to get silk cloth. I think every student enjoy watching this video and understand whatever I want to taught in this video.